Hold for car. Hold for car, please. Hold for car.
Holding for.
It's not going to be on his. He's not here.
I forgot. Hold for me forgetting. Hold for Mandy forgetting. Hold, please. We're clear.
You're listening to the Noon 15 podcast. I'm your host, Dan Cole, and I'll take you behind the scenes of Noon 15, an independent band writing, performing, and recording original music. This season, we'll talk about the band's sophomore album, Finish What You Started, and get the story behind one song per episode, as well as the ups and downs of working around day jobs, babies, and band shakeups here in Ithaca, New York. At the end of each episode, you'll hear the song in its finished form. Thanks for listening, and welcome to Noon 15, the podcast. Next on the list is the first of two songs written by Mandy Goldman that we'll be discussing today. This one is Easy.
So if you could ease me, you know I'd be easy.
I guess kind of in general, Mandy, what does it mean to you to have written two of the three songs that we're talking about tonight?
Oh, well, I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of both of the songs. Not just because, they're mine, but also because they became so much more exciting and fully realized because of these wonderful people. So, yeah, just really, really happy with both of them, how they turned out, which, in both cases is, not how I imagined, but better.
Why don't we do what I want for a change? Why don't we do what I want? Let's rearrange. Feels just like you mock me, make me beg for what I want. But if we do it your way, watch me bleed, I watch you taunt. So if you could
How so?
Well, easy, I don't know. It was my first time really, kind of producing the track too, or at least working with Sam on the production of the track. So I kind of learned a lot about my own preferences for arranging and about kind of carrying out the vision of the song until the end. It was a really cool experience. This song, I think, Easy, we're talking about Easy.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yes, we're talking about Easy on the Noon 15 podcast.
Where am I? This one, I think, was really based on, a feeling and a groove more than, Scared To, which was, a song that I was more sort of composed. It was kind of essential that it developed with everyone else.
I mean, we'd worked it out as a live thing, and that was its own sort of development. I remember Joe picking up on the reggae sort of feeling of the first section, and us kind of working around that. And then working that feel change and all that was there. And then we wound up subtracting a lot of, at least the things that I was doing live and then working out in the studio, we wound up pulling a lot of it away so that we could emphasize the groove. And when Jorge came in, it really gave you the opportunity to do that. I remember you saying no, that's what I want is more emphasis on the groove and the feel and less notes, too many notes.
Yeah, less notes. Yeah, well, I think live it's different, right? When you can establish a reggae groove quicker live and throw some stuff at people and it's not a big thing. But I don't know, you can get so much more texture with groove on a recording than we are able to live. Just added guitars, added percussion,
things you can't do live.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So nice for it to be a groove heavy song. Yeah.
I had said to Sam at one point that this might actually be my favorite Noon 15 song to mix. It is just so much fun. I mean, the energy all throughout this is just phenomenal, I feel the bass, just the more I listen to it, just really, really pushes this entire song. And Harry, when we did the Thaw podcast, you had talked about kind of settling into your role as a bass player, you know, and really all three of the tunes we're talking about today, you're singing the backup vocals, sure, but you really, how do you feel it's coming along? You know, you really seem to be settling in there with it.
Yeah, I mean, I love playing the bass as an instrument. It just has like a good feeling in your hands. Like it's hard to describe. It's just like it's very. I've discovered that it is extremely like kinesthetically pleasing, like the experience. And what are you guys snickering about over there?
Well, everybody just looked at Phil.
Hands.
Good feeling in your hands, and everybody was like,
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah, Phil knows. Phil knows. What I'm
And
talking
Phil was
about.
like, waka waka waka.
No, but it's been fun to slowly grow my bass skills over the course of this band, and I'm really super pleased with not only my playing on this one, but actually all three of these.
Yeah.
I feel like listening back over them, I can kind of hear a distinction between like this and Thaw. I listened back to Thaw, and I felt like I was satisfied to feel like there was like some growth there between Thaw and these three tracks. So, no, and it's been fun. And actually, kind of the backup vocals are pretty minimal for me on these, so I really got to like focus on playing the bass.
Yeah, I got to listen while Sam was mixing these, and I also really love your bass playing on this song, Harry. Like, it's really active and kind of melodic, and I think that's really great. And part of the reason that I felt like we didn't need too much more in terms of other like melody elements in this tune.
Mixing it, you're getting to, you know, really live in the song that way. The bass really drives and also delineates the two different stylistic sections of the song. And I actually wound up using the front part, the reggae part, where it's got this really like big fat, it's melodic, but it's also anchoring the groove. I wound up using just the direct signal and having it really big and, you know, round and taking up a lot of that space. But then the second half, when it gets more rocky, you're doing this sort of like John Entwistle. It's like a Who's Next kind of thing, you know. It's this kind of singy but aggressive rock bass part, and so I used the amp for that, and just like the bass really sort of guided how the song needed to change, but also how the two needed to be tied together. That was really cool for me to get to focus that much on something that somebody else was doing instead of me.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, I'm glad to. I was just trying to play sloppy there, so.
And Joe did a lot of layering here once again, right? There's like three different guitars I think you're credited with.
Yeah, I guess. Or
there's the acoustic going in the background.
oh,
a lot
that's
and
right.
everything else
that
over
one
it,
came.
yeah.
That was the last thing that came. Yeah. The main thing is the 12 string with the crazy tremolo effect, which it just kind of feels it's a little bit cheating, really. I'm just kind of found a cool, fun effect that you can just sort of play whatever and it floats over the top, because Mandy and Sam are basically holding down the chords and stuff on their end, so I can just sort of find some kind of wacky thing that suits the sort of dark nature of this tune, and sort of float in the background.
The consistency of that tremolo guitar part really it helps glue the two sections together. For me, like looking at the arrangement as the one who mixed it.
And it's kind of hard to play something wrong because it's just like the effect just does everything. If you took the effect off of what I was playing on the recording, it probably sounds so fucking stupid. But
It'd be like if you took the effect off the guitar in a U2 record.
It'd probably be, I'm sure it'd be worse than that, really, because I'm just like hitting random.
For the record, that would be bad, but yeah.
Oh God! Don't get me started.
Yeah, and that acoustic thing, that was like, like one of like the last thing that we did, like last minute we were recording Mandy's guitar. And Sam was handing me the acoustic guitar and just asked if I could just strum the chords over top and give it sort of just like more just another texture, really.
Yeah. It's like a
I loved
percussive
it.
texture.
The blending of that like big fat distorted like almost punk rock guitar that Mandy was playing with something that was we did like a really lo-fi acoustic guitar recording just to like add
Almost
some
like
rhythm
washboard
going through.
or something.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah, it was like a percussion, and you know, the Mandy's electric took up all the fatness, and then the acoustic gave it.
That's what
rhythm.
I do.
Just on top, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
to take up all the fat. What?
And I guess Joe would be more relevant for playing it live necessarily than in the studio recording, but I guess you almost have a little more freedom when Mandy's playing rhythm guitar.
Sure,
right?
yeah. Especially when, Sam's, he's obviously does a lot of different things with the keyboards, but
Does he?
I don't know what you're talking about.
in this particular tune and a lot of the tunes that Mandy's playing guitar, he is also holding down the chords. So yeah, it allows me to be more melodic, and just basically my job is to just kind of stay out of the way and not muddy things up. I don't have to worry about being there with the changes.
Keeping the
It helps for like learning the tunes too, because I can just sort of lay out for a while and listen, and it'll still sound like a song.
Sure.
I don't have to worry about carrying things. I can just sort of listen to what other people are doing and
Figure it out as you go.
bounce things off of them and see what works, see what doesn't.
Joe's solo at the end was one of the last things we did. Like that was a masks on in the home studio overdub. And it's one of the first things we've had anyone else over here to record in our home studio since we started it. And I will say, like, it was such a joy to, sort of christen the studio for outside people by having Joe come in and plug his Les Paul into a Fender amp and crank it up to get that tone. And also, I think my ears just stopped ringing from that last week. And when I was like, oh, I remember recording that part and going, "Oh, this is why people build control rooms in their studios." God.
Yeah, we have like a storage space above the garage, and I'm like, not for long.
And another one where Jorge Cuevas lends quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying there might be more you wanted to say about what he did in this song.
Yeah, I don't even know how it came up, but Sam was bringing in Jorge for dinosaurs. And for dinosaurs.
Dinosaur bone.
And I don't even know if I suggested it or if Sam was like, can you think of anything else that he would sound good on? And I just really wanted Easy to have just like a really fatty fat groove. And I love Jorge's playing, and like know that he's just an absolute gem to hang out with. So it was great. I kind of went with it, just listened to him play through the song because I'd never produced anyone playing congas before, and I have very rarely like attentively been able to listen to congas, and had no idea what was going to happen. I just kind of let him play through it, and then I just kind of like I was like scribbling furious notes and had him go through it again and like came up with a little bit of a call and response thing. Because I didn't know what it was called. I was like, can you get out that drum that goes crack, crack, crack? And he was like, oh, the timbale? And I was like, that is the one, sir. And yeah, and then he at the end was like, oh, I just have a bin full of stuff, of percussion toys. And he just kept pulling out incredible things of all shapes and sizes. And the last thing was a vibra-slap. And I was like, well, it's got to happen. It's got to be on the track.
The answer is always yes.
Yes, more vibra-slap.
That was the same thing with when we were working on Dinosaurs. He said, I do have a gong out in the car. And I was like, yes, you will be getting the gong from the car.
If you brought it.
And I had done a bunch of like lead synth stuff, and we got rid of all of it because the timbale really took over that role of responding to the vocal.
Why don't we do it your way for a while? You do your shadow dances, I just smile.
And it became a rhythmic response rather than a pitched response, which was really cool. It's different from what would normally happen if it were just us, and it's nice sometimes to get that outside influence on what you're doing, get something fresh in. And also now I don't need to play interesting synth lines. I can just play a groove when we play it live.
Where do these three songs fit in with Finish What You Started as a whole?
They're all like dark.
They're all like confronting fears and anxieties. That's the even the like brighter ones, like The Cell is about that. It's about infidelity. So they're all about that one way or the other. Dinosaurs and The Tick obviously are about confronting that in sort of a large like socio-political sense, but
And easy.
It's a loose concept.
It's loose.
it's only as loose as we say it is.
I'm going to say we were English majors. We can definitely pull this together.
It's as loose as Phil, am I right?
Hey.
After a couple of poppers. What?
Yeah, ready to move along?
Yeah, I think so.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Phil played in a reggae band, everyone. All right.
That's why he's so good at those fat beats.
And with that, we're ready to hear the song. We have Mandy Goldman with the writing credit, as well as lead and background vocals and electric guitars. Samuel B. Lupowitz on organ and background vocals. Joe Massa on 6 and 12-string electric guitars and the acoustic guitar, which I'm assuming had 6 strings. Harry Nichols on bass and background vocals. Phil Shea on the drums, and once again, Jorge T. Cuevas on congas, timbales, tambourine, and the aforementioned assorted percussion. It's Easy from Noon 15.
Why don't we do what I want for a change? Why don't we do what I want? Let's rearrange. It feels just like you
Thanks for listening to the Noon 15 podcast. Visit noon15.com to subscribe and for more music, videos, and info on upcoming shows. If you like what you hear, tell your friends and leave us a review on iTunes. Tune in next time for another trip behind the scenes with Noon 15. Pam, say cut.
Yeah,
Cut.